We started strong, with our entire company of 80 infantry soldiers marching towards our first objective. The weather was perfect, the sun low in the sky, casting long shadows as this fully geared up lineup of troops stretched ahead. It looked like something straight out of a war movie, or maybe a tactical fashion show, if you will. Since our entire battalion moved out at once, we had no idea if they were in front of us or behind us. This led to a constant game of "Are you my enemy?" or just badly camouflaged. Our first contact wasn't much. Some allies got into a skirmish just ahead of us and we barely contributed. A little bit of cover fire and we kept on moving.
Same team.
Then we hit an open area, and boom, 2 enemy tanks were waiting for us. A few of our lads were taken out. Unfortunately, none of us had anti-vehicle gear, so we left that mess to the anti-vehicle squad. Tanks? Not my job. I just work here with a bolt action and big dreams.
Holy shit.
Eventually, I linked up with my squad and we dove into the first of many swarms. At this point, shoes were soaked, legs were aching, and every rest break turned into a full-on sit-down protest. On normal roads, 5 to 7 kilometers is a light jog, but here, with varied terrain and full kit, it takes a serious toll. We finally reached what we thought was our objective, only to realize our guide had made a wrong turn somewhere.
Yeah.
Just a few extra kilometers, right? Well, it's great for burning calories and morale. By then, the sun had dipped below the horizon, but thanks to the beautiful Nordic summer, it was still bright enough to read a book. The whole experience felt surreal. Unfortunately, the day ended with our Tango 21 squad contributing absolutely nothing. No enemy contact, no objectives captured, just some elite level hiking. Morale took a slight hit, but we ended up on a hill and headed back to the base for a well-deserved rest. Day 2 kicked off hot. After maybe 5 hours of sleep, we were loaded into 2 transport trucks and sent out near an enemy-held objective. Little did we know, they had set the perfect ambush. The enemy took out our driver first, then picked us off one by one.
Hit!
It was like watching a bad action movie, except we were the extras getting wrecked. Back at the base, we regrouped and decided to go on foot this time. Still no signs of enemy. Until I got my very first proper sniper moment. I had someone in my sights, but my teammate was faster. I swear it felt like a Call of Duty with lag. We finally reached our target, a big hill overlooking a crossroad.
Yellow sniper going into the forest.
Prime real estate for recon.
Yellow player pushing on the road, pushing on the road.
Left hand side of the bunker. Peeking. heja på honom, men han kan skjuta ett och träffa. Håll lågt. Han är bakom skjulet på vänster sida. Ja.
Up, got him. Finally.
Some yellow team player got super lucky. Just as he got hit, a recovery vehicle rolled by to pick him up. Get hit out here, it means a long, lonely walk of shame back to base.
Hit! Hit!
I got hit defending that hill. After getting dragged to safety and while being patched up, I for sure got to enjoy the view. By the time I was back on my feet, the enemies were long gone. But I did get to see the enemy tank up close. I waved, it didn't wave back. We headed back to the base early that day. We were promised something big for day 3. Day 3 started with a clear mission: capture a heavily defended sand dune. Sounds simple, right? Just add fire, chaos and a sprinkle of suppressive fire. We pushed through the forest and hit an open area with a hill ahead. Both blue and yellow forces were dug in tight.
Düşman rakı solda görüyorum.
Dead? No, tiesiog dead.
Antrą kartą per 2 dienas tave.
Ane? Geras.
Granatą.
Ai, čia matys.
Visi Lithuanias pušino toliau!
Jo. Aš to labai.
After an intense firefight, the hill was ours. This was the highlight of the day: adrenaline, success, and a killer view. I swear, if this whole sniper thing doesn't work out, I might just become a real estate agent for battlefield terrain. We stood our ground defending the hill for a couple more hours, and that was the end of the day. Day 4. Sniper heaven or hell, depending on how much you like sitting still. I was still tasked with recon, which means staying put even when you hear footsteps nearby or firefights breaking out around you. The rules were clear. Don't engage unless fired upon. Gather intel, stay hidden, and don't sneeze. At one point I was observing a squad from afar, until I realized I was standing less than 5 meters from an enemy respawn point. Tactical genius or blind luck? Let's call it sniper's roulette. I made a run for it and immediately sprinted into another group of enemies. Classic. After respawn, back at the base, I headed out again and ran into a massive animal. Still not sure what it was, but it definitely wasn't on the roster. Maybe Bigfoot playing Milsim too?
Dog! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
So this is our base, and this is the guy. Like, this is a complete show. Probably Berget just bought this deer, just for the show of it.
Yeah, just release it.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how they're gonna top that tomorrow.
Then came the river crossing, two narrow bridges, 50 meters apart, swarming with enemies. A true meat grinder.
Kas nesūžysta, tai partiem pierasūžysta. Ten sėdus 5 metrų. Vai pasigydom ir visi kartu. Dabar sudėdas, kaip ką.
-1.
It took hours of pushing back and forth, but we finally secured the crossing and took the objective.
That's the road for the village. They drive there, so they are now on the village to go.
Okay, 2 cars.
Hij keurt ook.
Final day. Yesterday we pushed across the river, today we halted. I positioned myself near where I thought the enemy would show up. I was right. Hidden in a bush, I watched an entire enemy force pass by. Infantry, officers, and even their captain. One guy literally sat on the bush I was in. I didn't move, I didn't breathe, I had the captain in my sight and didn't take the shot. Honestly, that moment still haunts me. Why didn't you shoot? I ask myself. Well, the answer? I was going for the long con. Or maybe I just froze? Yeah, you know what? Let's go with the long con. Sounds cooler. You can even see in this shot, I pulled out my sidearm, but hesitation is a sniper's worst enemy. Eventually, I snuck behind one of them and took one out. And then the event sirens went off. Talk about timing, right? So, what was the Milsim experience like? Living in a tent for 5 days in the middle of nowhere, carrying gear across swamps, forests and hills, it was physically brutal. At times, the tension got high. Tempers flared, as expected when you put 1200 people in a high-stakes game. On the only night real op we had, someone twisted her ankle, and the game was paused. But the ultimate question, would I do it again? Absolutely. 10 out of 10 would crawl through swamps and miss every shot all over again. Because in the end, it's not just about pulling the trigger. It's about the experience, the brotherhood, the stories, and of course, the occasional hiding in a bush while someone sits on you.